Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loca here. Join me today as I show you how to propagate Dichondra Silver Falls. So let's go. I live in New Hampshire. I garden in USDA Zone 5B. Here where I live, Dichondra Silver Falls is considered an annual. And what that means is if I want to have the plant, I have to buy it year after year. That can get very expensive, so I try to save money in my garden by propagating this plant. There are a number of ways you can propagate Dichondra. One way is through seed. In fact, the plants that you're looking at right here were started from seed, and they were started from seed that I collected myself. If you do want to start this plant from seed, you definitely want to start it 12 weeks before your average last frost date. The seeds need light to germinate, so you would just be pressing the seeds into the soil surface. They germinate when the soil temperature is somewhere between 70 and 76 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's a good idea to use a seedling heat mat when starting these plants from seed. The seeds should germinate sometime between 7 and 14 days, but if you collected your own seeds, it might take even longer, so you want to be patient. If you want to know how to collect the seeds from this plant, I'll put a link to it up above as well as down below in the description. Be sure to check it out after this video. It's a great way to save money and get more of this plant for free. Another way you can propagate Dichondra is through stem cuttings. Just take a cutting that's about 3 inches long, remove the bottom leaves, stick it in some well-draining potting mix, put a humidity dome over it, keep it in indirect light, and after a few weeks, the plant should root for you. Now, if this plant is a perennial where you live, then you can go ahead and divide this plant. But where I live, it's treated as an annual, so dividing the plant is usually not an option. Now I'm going to tell you about the recommended way of propagating this plant. It's through a way called layering. This method is considered to be the easiest and most successful way of propagating this plant. The reason is the new plant remains attached to the parent plant, taking nutrients from the parent while it forms its roots. And there are a few different ways that you can do this process. I'm going to show you a few ways that I've done it before and I've been successful with it. At the base there, that's like the parent plant, but anything that's coming off of it, that's trailing, I just like to call them little runners, but basically each time you have a plant that's coming off the parent plant like this, what it's going to do is every area that it touches the soil, like right here, for example, where you have a leaf, in that area, it's going to want to create a root. So for example, see right here, we have a leaf. Look at the base of it right there. It's trying really hard to create a root. And that's what that is right there, but it's looking for soil. Same with here, we have a leaf, and if you look right at the base, that little bump, that little node, that's going to produce a root. But it'll produce the root faster if it touches soil. Same with right there. So each of those points or nodes will create a root if you allow it to, if you help it out. So in this situation, we just have a small 3-inch pot and it's trailing on the side here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to snip each section and we're going to place the part where it wants to root in potting mix. I'm going to cut in the middle here because I want to make sure that either side of this leaf is beneath soil. Same with either side of this leaf. I want it to be beneath soil. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to cut on basically in the middle of each leaf that's here. And I'm bringing you in closer just so you can see where it wants to create a root, right there. I filled a 6-cell pack with pre-moistened potting mix. You can use whatever potting mix you want, just make sure that it's well draining. I'm just going to use a pen and make a small hole. It doesn't need to be very deep. I just want to make sure that I can go ahead and plant that little section that we cut. And as long as that root is beneath soil level and this top leaf is above soil level, the plant will take off and it will go ahead and start creating more roots. So I'm just going to guide it in. Now there are so many different ways that you could be doing this process. If you had this Dichondra Silver Fall in a large pot, like a much larger pot, you could be helping your plant along by just covering sections of it beneath soil inside of that large pot. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But since my pot was very small, that small 3-inch pot, I wanted to basically cut each little section and just go ahead and get it to start rooting. Here's the next section. Again, we want the leaf to be above soil level and that little bump should be beneath soil level. This section that's coming out on the end here, I could have that above soil level as well because that's just going to create another plant off on the side. I'm excited that I was able to propagate this plant from seed. It's a very expensive plant actually, and for the amount of plants that I want in my yard, the best way for me to save money is to just keep propagating it. Now I'm still about 6 weeks away from my average last frost date. I have plenty of time to create a lot of new plants for myself. And here's a fun fact. I've been able to overwinter this plant successfully in my unheated garage. So this winter, that's what I'm planning to do with all of these plants that I started from seed. So one thing that I started doing was, as I noticed the plant starting to trail on the side, I just kicked some dirt on top, like right in this section here. I just took some dirt and covered it, basically helping it out so that it plants itself or it creates roots in place within the pot. So if you have a much larger pot, so let's say like a window box or something like that, you can be doing that. As you have little sections that are creating leaves like this, you can go ahead and just cover those sections up. Like I could even cover this section right here up if I wanted to. And each place that I'm covering up, as long as there's a leaf there, it will go ahead and it will start rooting itself in place. However, because I'm in my house and I'm growing plants under grow lights, this is a fun activity for me to do this time of year. So what I'm actually going to do is, here's the parent plant in the center. I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to go ahead and go under this section here. And by doing so, I uncovered a couple of areas where you can see it starting to root. That is a free plant, and that is a free plant. It's a beautiful thing. So again, I'm going to cut in between each section where I see the roots. I'm just going to make a little bit of a hole. And I definitely want to make sure that that root goes beneath soil level. But I might as well have this little guy on the end coming out as well, because what it'll end up doing is it's going to start rooting itself inside of the 6L pack. So I can just push this in. I'm almost sure you can root this plant in water as well. Definitely experiment when it comes to propagating the plant. And that's the beauty of gardening, is there's so many ways that you can do the same thing. So I'm just coming in, and I like to come in halfway just because, and I'll show you in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and cut right here. But just imagine the possibility that we are now creating the potential of 6 new Dichondra Silver Fall plants. How exciting is that? And in this case here, I'm actually going to cover both sides because both sides did not have anything new that was getting created. So like in other words, I didn't see an opportunity for layering. So now let's continue checking this guy right here, and I'm tugging it. I'm noticing a root right there. So let's go ahead and cut that. When I look at the other little sections, like this section here, I don't see a bump. It will be there soon, it just barely, I can maybe notice it. And same with this guy over here. I bet in another week there'll be a little bump there where a root is forming. But I guess what I'm saying is, since it's not so obvious that there's a little bump there where a root is forming, I'm going to go ahead and just plant this whole piece, knowing that probably in a few weeks I can come in and divide this off. Since these little divisions already have bumps or roots that have formed, there's no need to put a humidity dome on. If you wanted to, you could. I don't think it would hurt, but I don't foresee why I would need to do that since they already have little roots that are forming. Usually when a plant is starting to do that, it doesn't necessarily need a humidity dome at that point. So all I'm doing is I'm just pressing in where the roots were, and these little extra guys that are here are just going to hang on the side. And I know that in another week or so I can check them, and if I notice that these sections are starting to create little bumps, I can basically sever them off of the parent plant and pot them up. I think this will be a fun game to play. How many plants can we create just from the small handful of plants that we started from seed? So again, here's the parent plant right in the center, and I'm checking this guy that's coming off on the side. I'm tugging gently and taking the pen, going underneath it, and very carefully pulling it out, and I can see I have a root right here. So we're going to go ahead and cut right here. And that's one big root that just came off of that mother plant. And as we look carefully, there are little sections here, like that one there does have a bump. And this one here, I'm not noticing it. But again, it's a great time to just experiment with these little sections here, and you have nothing to lose. So I would say go ahead. You can either just pot up this one piece here and let the rest of it trail, or you can try to come in and pot up each of these little nodes, each of these little sections. They should take. You'll notice that I'm not using rooting hormone. The reason is this is a plant that roots very easily without the hormone. It doesn't hurt. If you want to use rooting hormone, you can definitely use it. But I've had a lot of success rooting this plant without any rooting hormone. And you can see that it automatically just creates those little bumps, those little nodes where the roots are going to form. I'll be placing these under my LED shop lights or my grow lights. This time of year, it's still way too cold for me to be bringing any of these plants out. I'm just basically going to be growing them on, and I know that I'm eventually going to have to pot them up, probably into 3-inch pots. But for right now, I want them to be in these small little pots. And I can start giving them fertilizer probably in a few weeks as they get bigger and produce more roots. I usually like to just give Miracle Grow. It can be a half a strength while the plants are still very small. And I usually will fertilize them about once a week. So when it comes to these guys here, again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pot them up. You don't have to. You could have waited a little bit longer for them to create the nodes, but I feel very confident based on my past experience that they will take off and they will root. If you look carefully, that guy right there does have a small node. It's just some are more prominent than others. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you've ever propagated Dichondra Silver Falls. And if so, how did you do it and were you successful? Something else you can do is take something like a paper clip and you can clip it along the way. These areas that I'm showing you where a leaf appears at each section or each junction or each node, whatever you want to call it, you can take a paper clip and just clip down those sections as well, just to hold them in place while you wait for those sections to create roots. I've had a lot of luck while I've been growing these plants indoors, just cuffing the soil on each section that I wanted to root. But adding a paper clip just to hold down those sections will help the plant out even more. It almost reminds me of like strawberries. If you've ever propagated strawberries with runners, it's a similar type of concept. In fact, if you wanted to, you could have a main pot, like one pot here, and a separate pot, a brand new pot with just potting mix next to it. And you can trail your runners over to the second pot. And again, use something like a paper clip to hold down each section in place until they root for you. And then once those little sections have roots on them, you can go ahead and cut them from the mother plant. Something like this. Let's say that this was an empty pot and you wanted to go ahead and take a paper clip. You could take it like this and just push it down. And I'm just giving an example of something you can do. And leave it there, give it some time, and eventually when you tug, you'll notice that it's created roots. Now remember, Dichondra Silver Falls may be invasive where you live, or maybe it's a perennial where you live. But where I live, it's definitely an annual, and it's a plant that so many people in this area buy year after year. It gets very expensive when you do that, so when you can propagate the plant, why not? And you can always wait until each section has more of a root to it. I like doing it at this stage because I want these plants to take right off. I ended up with 19 little sections. I'll keep you posted in a future video and just give you an update on how each of these sections does. I'm so excited. I'm going to keep checking the parent plants. I'm going to keep taking from the parent plants. And I hope this gave you some ideas, some motivation to propagate plants. Not just this plant, but many other plants out there. And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.